And move and raise the hullabaloo.
Dodger Baseball is on the air, brought to you by Union Bank, the business bank that also offers a complete range of personal banking services. By Olympia Beer, that great light beer from Tumwater, Washington. It's the water and a lot more. By your Union 76 dealer. Maybe it's time you put a man with spirit on your side, the spirit of 76. And by Farmer John, who dresses Eastern corn-fed pork right here in the West to assure you pork and pork products at their finest and freshest. Well, hi, everyone. This is Jerry Doggett along with Vin Scully, and here we are at beautiful Dodger Stadium for the game between the Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. Well, the Dodgers and the Reds play today. It'll be the final home game of the year for the Dodgers, and for the Reds, they're trying to ice up the champagne. They need one. The Dodgers trying to prolong that and make them go on back home before they do that. The Dodgers today will send Tommy John against Fred Norman. John is 14-7 on the year. Norman has won 12, lost 12. And his record with the Reds since coming from the Padres is 11 wins and 5 losses. We'll have the starting lineups and other pregame notes for you after this message.
Take 30.
This is J. Arthur Good asking you, how would you like to win a double grand prize of a 2-week trip anywhere in the U.S., including Hiwaha and a Winnebago camper?
Cut.
What's the matter?
Jay, you win a trip to Hawaii and a Winnebago camper?
I do?
Jay,
Oh, my.
Jay, if you enter the Rogers Paint Great Discovery Sweepstakes at the Sherwin-Williams store and win...
Oh, and win.
Read the rest of the prizes.
A 2 weeks African safari and 2 weeks for tea on Tahiti.
Cut. That's African Safari and 2 weeks for 2 on Tahiti.
Just for entering?
Read the script. You go to a Sherwin-Williams store and fill out a coupon.
Yes.
And you're eligible for the super prizes. Plus, you might be an instant winner.
What do they win?
Read it, Jay.
Okay. One of 14,000 Old World Discoverers maps.
Maps.
Or one of 10,000 quarts of Podger's Rain. What's Podger's Rain?
Rogers Paint is the great paint buy for young Americans.
I have to buy some to win?
Read the copy. There's no purchase required.
And that's it?
For complete details on an entry form, see your Sherwin-Williams store. Participating Sherwin-Williams dealer. Check the yellow pages under Paint Retail. Sweepstakes ends October 6th.
You did that rather well.
Can we at least get the legal copy?
Of course. The Rogers Paint Great Discovery Sweepstakes is void were prohibited by law. Don't tell me it's void.
It's void. Take 31.
Here are the batting orders now for the game. For Cincinnati, Pete Rose will lead off and play left field. Joe Morgan at second base. Tony Perez at first base. Johnny Bench will be doing the catching. George Foster batting fifth and playing center field. Ed Armbruster will be the right fielder. Dennis Menke at third base. Darrell Cheney at shortstop. And Fred Norman on the mound to do the pitching. For the Dodgers, Bill Russell will lead off and play shortstop. Tom Paciorek in center field. Steve Garvey at first base. In right field, Joe Ferguson. Ron Say will be at third. Willie Crawford will play left field. The catcher will be Steve Yeager. Lee Lacy batting in the eighth spot and playing second base. And Tommy John to do the pitching. Tommy 14-7 with the league this year, 3.07 earned run average. He is 1-0 this year, and that's his lifetime record against Cincinnati. Freddie Norman against the Dodgers this year is 2-0. He is 4-7 lifetime against the Dodgers. Norman against the Dodgers with San Diego had no decision in a 4-3 win for the Padres, and then with the Reds he was the winning pitcher in a 4-1 ball game in June, and again in July, the winning pitcher in a 4-3 win. Tommy John had no decision in May against the Reds, and then beat them 5-1 in June. The Dodgers tried to snap a 4-game winning streak. The Reds have accumulated over them now. The last 2 in Cincinnati and the first 2 here. And in fact, we might go back further than that to the final series in Cincinnati. Here's a final in from New York. The New York Mets beat the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 5-2, and the Mets now are rolling along. They are 1 game ahead of the Pirates, and the Pirates today beat Montreal 6-3 in the first game of the doubleheader. Montreal has lost 6 in a row. The Pirates snap a 4-game losing streak, and the Mets win their 6th in a row. So the Mets are the hot club right now, and Montreal, just a few days ago, locked up in a tie. They have fallen back, and they are 6 out. The Cubs got a death blow today. They were beaten by Philadelphia 9-7. So now it is narrowing down to Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Philadelphia in that game against Chicago scored 5 runs in the 8th inning to pull it out and win. Pittsburgh scored 4 runs in the 7th inning to turn it around against Montreal. And the Mets just kept plugging away to beat New York in a single game. So the Mets lead the Pirates by 1. The Cardinals now have dropped to 3 back. Montreal is 3 back. Chicago is 4 back. And the Pirates can pick up a half a game if they win the second game, or if they lose it, they will drop to a game and a half back. So the Mets and the Pirates now look like they're going to pull away from the rest of the pack, but they've still got a big week to go. In the other games on tap, Atlanta leads Houston by a score of 5-0, playing in the 6th inning in the Dome. Harrison against Wilson. Dietz a home run for Atlanta, and Tepedino a home run for Atlanta. Henry Aaron, of course, hit one last night. He now needs 2 to tie and 3 to set the record. San Diego 3, San Francisco 2. That game is in the 5th inning at San Francisco. In the American League, the Angels 11, Minnesota nothing, playing in the 6th inning. New York beat Cleveland 9-1 in the first game. Oakland 10 and Chicago 5 in the 9th inning of their single game. Baltimore, who has clinched the Eastern Division, leading Milwaukee 1-0 in the 9th inning. It is 6-4. Kansas City over Texas in the 8th inning, and Detroit beat Boston by a score of 3-0. Totals on the game in New York as the Mets win before 51,000. And boy, what a weekend they've had. They had a standing room crowd of 50,000 plus on Friday night, and over 30,000 yesterday, and 51,000 today. The totals: 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for New York, 2 8-0 for St. Louis. Parker the winner. Pena in relief was the loser. And the other pitchers for New York: Stone started, Parker relieved in the 3rd, McGraw came on the 7th. Thompson, Folkers, Pena, Rabowski, and Segui going for St. Louis. So that's the scoreboard as of now. Meeting at home plate between the coaches. Yeager has the batting card for the Dodgers, and Ted Kluszewski for the Reds. Underway in a few moments now, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Rainey singing our national anthem here on our final home game of the year, and Sue with a fine job. Big crowd on hand. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles, and we're about set for the ball game. The umpires today will be Wendelstedt at the plate, Donatelli, Engel, and Davidson on the bases. The Dodgers will be off tomorrow, travel to Atlanta, and then we'll open a 3-game series against the Braves. Now Now the Dodgers take the field. Had quite a display of run making in yesterday's game. A final score of 11-9. The Dodgers had 9 runs, 14 hits, and 2 errors, and the Reds 11 runs, 14 hits, and no errors. And so it was a wild afternoon. After a 7-run start by the Reds, the Dodgers played tough the rest of the way and wound up just 2 games shy. The Reds, of course, trying to wrap things up today, and the Dodgers would love to prolong it and send them on back to Cincinnati. The Reds go home and will play San Diego tomorrow. They'll begin a 3-game series. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday they will have Thursday off, and then wind up the season with San Francisco next weekend in Cincinnati. The Dodgers have 5 to play after today, 3 in Atlanta, Tuesday night and Wednesday night at 4:45, and on Thursday night at 3:45. And then at San Diego on Friday night and Saturday night. Okay, we're about set. Tommy John on the mound warming up. Tommy tried to get his 15th win of the year. He's 14-7, earned run average of 307. All set. Time to play ball. The Dodgers and the Big Red Machine. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Sunday to you, wherever you may be. It has come up bright and shiny for this last home game of the year. Tommy John has drawn the closing assignment against Freddie Norman, and Tommy tuning up to pitch to Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, and Tony Perez. For the Reds, they are spurred on by the knowledge that they can do it today. And they can do it the best way possible for a champion to KO the closest opponent. So the Reds will shoot the works today, no doubt, to beat the Dodgers and finish it off once and for all on the 23rd of September. The Reds then can start popping the bubbly right after the game. The Dodgers, if nothing else, can be the malcontents and the spoilers and try and knock the Reds off and avoid the haymaker and let somebody else have that dishonor. So we'll see how it comes up. Pete Rose starting it off, hitting .344. 5 home runs, 65 RBIs. Pete batting right-handed against Tommy John. And TJ trying to win his 15th. Oakland, they are popping the bubbly right now. They just knocked off the White Sox 10-5 as Vida Blue won his 20th. And so Oakland has cinched it in the American League West. 1 ball and no strikes to Rose. Tommy John back with a fastball hit to right field. Right there is Ferguson and makes dead and drops the ball. So Fergie fighting right field. He has sunglasses on, but even so, on a bright day like today, he was handcuffed and dropped it. He'll draw an error. So Joe had his hands on it. And Rose is aboard on the error. And the batter will be Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan hitting .285 with 24 home runs, 80 RBIs. He runs up to bunt and it's foul up along first base in the count 0-1. He was bunting for a base hit. The Dodgers defensively, Steve Garvey at first, Lee Lacy at second. Davey Lope's back is acting up again. He had muscle spasms. They bothered him yesterday and again today. So Lacy is closing where he opened at second base. Bill Russell at short, Ron Say at third. Willie Crawford in left field. Tom Pishorik is in center. And Joe Ferguson is in right. Strike 1 pitch to Morgan. Sidearm curve grounded to Russell. He just steps on the bag and doubles in at first. So the error followed by the double play. 2 down, and the batter will be Tony Perez.
Number 24.
Tony hitting .311. He has 25 home runs, 97 runs batted in. So he still has a shot at finishing up the year with 100 RBIs. Tommy John delivers. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Tommy John has won 14 games in the American League. So this, if he can hold on and win it, would be his big year. The pitch to Perez missing, 1-1. Tommy won 14 back-to-back in 65 and 6 for the White Sox. Won 13 in 1970, won 11 last year. Pitch outside, ball 2. So if Tommy can pull one out, he'll have won 15. 2-1, the count to Tony Perez. John into the windup. Tommy deals, and the sinker's outside. Ball 3, 3-1. A beautiful day, a big crowd. The final home game of the year. The Dodgers have had a very good record at home. The 3-1 pitch foul back. The Dodgers have won 49 games and lost 31. So a victory today would round it off and give them 50 at home. This ball club has already won 90 games. That's not enough. The Reds have won 96. 3-2 pitch to Tony Perez. Swung on a ground ball to short. Russell backhand, sets for the long throw and gets him, and that's it. Nothing across except for the error, and at the end of half an inning, the Reds nothing, and the Dodgers coming up. The Olympia Brewing Company of Tumwater, Washington invites you to take this moment to open another light, refreshing Olympia beer and join them in a toast to perhaps the greatest manager in Dodger history, a man by the name of Walter Alston. With the end of the 1973 season, Walt will have completed his 20th consecutive campaign as Dodger manager. Up to the 1973 season, Walt has led his Dodgers to 6 National League pennants and 4 World Championships. In fact, way back in 1955, Walt led the Dodgers to their very first World Championship, beating the Yankees in 7 games. This marked the first time in World Series history that a team had come back to win the series after losing the first 2 games. And just to prove it wasn't luck, Walt repeated this amazing feat in the 1965 series with the Minnesota Twins. So let's raise our glasses of Ole, salute the great Dodger manager, Walter Alston. And while we're at it, let's have another Ole to toast Ole beer itself. It's the water and a lot more. Bottom of the first inning, the Reds turned away. We'll set them defensively. Little Freddie Norman on the mound. Behind the plate, Johnny Bench. An infielder, Tony Perez and Joe Morgan. Darrell Cheney and Dennis Menke. The outfielder, Pete Rose, George Foster, and Ed Armbrister. Freddie Norman comes in a 500 pitcher, but he's a lot more than that. He is 12-12 for the year, but what he has done for Cincinnati is the difference, I think, between the Reds winning and losing the National League West. Norman, 11-5, so he is 7 on the plus side, and the Reds are 6.5 in front of the Dodgers. So the least the Reds can do is send a World Series ring to San Diego. That deal for Gene Locklear was probably the single most important maneuver of the entire season in the National League West. So Norman has contributed 7 big wins, and they're 6.5 in front of the Dodgers on the final home day of the year. Bill Russell has been elevated to the leadoff spot, followed by Tom Paciorek and then Steve Garvey. Bill Russell is hitting .266. He has 4 home runs, 55 RBIs. Little Fred, both feet on the rubber, looks down to get a sign from Johnny Bench, who is back in favor. He is no longer an untouchable. And Russell takes a strike, 0-1. The count to Russell. Now Norman back with a slow curve, waved at and missed. Strike 2, 0-2. The next one, a screwball outside, ball 1, 1-2. Freddie Norman, originally in the Dodger organization, then with San Diego, and then got the break of his life, escaping to Cincinnati. The 1-2 pitch to Russell, slow curve, hit the straightaway center. Right there is George Foster to one-handed, 1 away. Norman wears number 32, and as he says with a shake of the head, took me a long time to get it. Tom Paciorek, hitting .250 with 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Norman waiting for Foster to get into position. Freddie's earned run average with the Reds is under 3, 2.9. The pitch to Tom Paciorek is low, ball 1, 1-0. In fact, outside of relief pitcher Pedro Bourbon, Norman has the best earned run average on the staff, discounting his work with San Diego. The pitch to Paciorek, low and inside, ball 2. So Tommy Paciorek waiting, 2 balls, no strikes. Steve Garvey on deck. The next one is hit down the right field line, going in the corner as it slices, lands fair, bounces into the stands for a ground rule double. So Pashorek will go back to second base with a ground rule double, and that'll bring up Steve Garvey. And for Pashorek, that would be his 6th double. Norman, in 27 innings against the Dodgers this year, his earned run average is 2.3. Of course, yesterday, Gullett had an earned run average of 2.05, and the Dodgers chased him, but still lost. So Pashorek, a double into the corner. Now Garvey, who hit 2 out yesterday, at the plate. Norman set, Fred kicks and delivers, and the pitch in for a strike, little slider, 0-1. Garvey hitting .298, half a dozen home runs, 43 RBIs. Oh, and 1 to count to Garvey. Norman back, fastball, bolted to left center field. That's heading towards the wall. It's gone. Steve Garvey hits his 3rd home run in 2 days. For Garvey, his 7th of the year, his 45th RBI. The Dodgers leading 2-0. For the Dodgers, 105 home runs this year. That's the best home run production for a Dodger team since the National League Championship '66 club hit 108. Joe Ferguson takes a hook in the dirt, ball 1. 2-0 Dodgers, first inning. 2 $10 books of Union All auto script to Steve Garvey. Next one over for a strike. And 2 books of the Boys Republic of Chino. For Garvey, 2 yesterday, 1 today, and 1 earlier this year. He's hit 4 against the Reds at Dodger Stadium. So 4 of the 7 against the top club in the league. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Fergie. Slow curve. Hits sharply at third. Up with it there is Menke to throw him out. Dennis juggled the ball momentarily. 2 away. That'll bring up Ron Cey.
Third baseman, Ron Cey.
Ron Cey hitting .242. He has 14 home runs, 76 runs batted in. Dodgers trying to go out with a win. Cey waiting. Now Norman on the rubber. Fred into the windup and delivers, and the screwball over for a strike, 0-1. Now Norman back to the plate, 0-1. Cey waves at a slow curve. Badly fooled, and the count 0-2. Freddie Norman is 5'8". He's a 170-pounder, 31 years old. He was born in San Antonio, Texas. The strike 2 pitch, fastball low, ball 1. Freddie's been around since 1961. He started his career with Shreveport. The 1-2 pitch, low. Cey started to go after a screwball and held up. Freddie checking. Now into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Screwball outside and high, ball 3. Norman started in the Chicago Cubs organization. Actually, he was traded to the Cubs from the minor leagues. He had been with Kansas City. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Norman deals. Strike 3 call. Breaking ball on the outside corner. That'll do it for Cey, but not before the Dodgers get 2 runs, 2 hits. And at the end of an inning, Dodgers 2, Reds nothing.
Maybe it's time, new man who knows just what to do. Maybe it's time you knew a man who is right down the street from you. Maybe it's time you put a man with spirit on your side.
Union 76 dealer Bob Berger has the spirit of 76.
I'm beginning to realize that more and more of the things that we do routinely, the customers think are outstanding or exceptional because they're not used to getting that kind of service.
Maybe it's time you put a man with spirit on your side. Spirit of 76, spirit of 76.
The end of an inning, the Dodgers leading the Reds 2-0 on the home run by Steve Garvey with a man aboard. The Dodgers have Tommy John ready to work to Johnny Bench, George Foster, and Ed Armbruster in that order. The applause in the background, the halftime score at the Coliseum, the Rams 14 and the Atlanta Falcons nothing. Now here's Johnny Bench. He's been restored to good graces after riding out a 2-day suspension. Johnny Bench hitting .257. 25 home runs, 103 RBIs. So Tommy John, feet together on the rubber, looks in to get a sign. Now ready and delivers breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Alex Graham is coaching at third. George Scherger at first. Tommy's strike one pitch on the way. Breaking ball fouled off. One breaking ball was way outside and suddenly darted on the outside corner. That one looked like a fastball down the middle and came in on the hands. So it just depends on where Tommy starts his breaking ball. 0-2 the count to Johnny Bench. Strike two pitch on the way. Sinker low and away. Ball one. 1-2. Tommy reading signs flashed out by Steve Yeager, and the 1-2 pitch, fastball just inside. So two quick curves and a sinker down and away, then a fastball inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Johnny Bench. Tommy comes back 2-2, fastball hit to the left of Russell. He one-hands it and throws him out. So Johnny Bench losing a base hit to Bill Russell. 1 away, and George Foster the batter. Tommy John has made one other start against the Reds. He also relieved 2 innings. Tommy's earned run average is less than a run in his 2 previous appearances against Cincinnati. His ERA is .8. You want to get the point? Well, then put a banker on your business team. Your account manager at Union Bank. George Foster, who had 4 hits the other night, and the 4th one hit the jackpot. The 9th inning home run that got the tie, and then Perez got his 5th hit, the home run that got the win. George takes a strike. Foster hitting .370 since being called up from Indianapolis. 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. Right-hand batter, he takes away 1-1. Jack Billingham just getting in some work down in the Cincinnati bullpen, tossing in between starts. Next one on the inside part of the plate, 1-2. Dodgers 2, Reds nothing. We're in the 2nd inning with 1 away on a beautiful day. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. TJ's curve, swung on and missed, dropped by Yeager. The tag applied. That'll do it to Foster. 2 down.
Number 33.
Here is Ed Armbruster.
Ed Armbruster.
Edison Armbruster by name. He's from Nassau in the Bahamas, hitting .308. He's the boy we mentioned when we were in Cincinnati. They didn't have any ball fields in Nassau. They play cricket, but he didn't have any baseball fields. So he played baseball in a cemetery. Tommy John ready, and the pitch to Armbruster, he takes low. Ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Edison Armbruster. Tommy's fastball sinks low, ball 2. Armbruster with a home run and 5 RBIs. He beat the Dodgers with a bloop hit to center field in the recent series in Ohio. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball over, 2-1. Dennis Menke on deck. Tommy John's 2-1 pitch coming up. Missed inside, ball 3. So he hasn't thrown in the breaking stuff yet. 3-1 to Ed Armbruster. 2 down, second inning. Dodgers leading 2-0. Tommy trying to win his 15th today. The 3-1 pitch. Sinker hits slowly to third. Say gets a good bounce, throws on the run, and gets him, and that's it. Reds are finished in the second at the end of an inning and a half. Dodgers 2, Reds nothing. Pay more and get less. No, indeed, it sure doesn't make sense. But you know, if you ladies will check the pork sausage in the meat department of your store, you'll find that it can happen. And happen it has. You see, some of the sausage that's shipped in from the east is now in smaller rolls, only 12 ounces instead of 16 ounces. Now that's a quarter-pound less sausage than in the full-pound Farmer John roll. Yet when you compare the price stickers, you'll see that the 12-ounce sausage actually costs you more, sometimes much more, than the 16-ounce Farmer John roll. Add the fact that Farmer John's sausage is fresher and fresher tasting since it's made right here in the West from strictly fresh Eastern corn-fed pork, and it becomes an even better buy. So if you want Eastern pork sausage that's strictly fresh, the way sausage should be for full fresh flavor, and you want to save money to boot, you have an easy choice to make. Simply reach for the full-pound roll with Farmer John on the label. Farmer John sausage.
4.
Bottom of the second inning, the Dodgers leading the Reds 2-0. Freddie Norman and Tommy John. The Dodgers getting 2 runs in the first inning on a ground rule double by Tom Pishorek and a line drive home run by Steve Garvey into the seats in left center. The Dodgers trying to snap a 7-game losing streak against the Reds. The Reds have won 11 out of 17 from the Dodgers. The last Dodger victory over Cincinnati was in Cincinnati, an extra inning game that the Dodgers won 8-7. The next day was the doubleheader when Hal King hit the dramatic pinch hit home run in the 9th inning, and the Reds have won every meeting since. 7. So they deserve to be where they are. There's no two ways about it. The Reds have just played championship ball and have taken over. Willie Crawford, Steve Yeager, and Lee Lacy in that order. Second inning, 2-0 Dodgers. Norman delivers, and a breaking ball is popped in the air. Coming in from first base is Tony Perez. He's on the grass now and makes the catch. Boy, that thing was up there. 1 away. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
KTAR in Phoenix.
Steve Yeager checks in at the plate. Yeager hitting .252. Freddie Norman into the windup. Left-handed delivers. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. The count is Steve Yeager. Norman back to the plate. Breaking ball. Low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Norman reading bench. Yeager waiting, and the 1-1 pitch to Steve. Slow curve over nicely. Strike 2. 1-2. One and 2 to Yeager. Norman back to the plate. Low breaking ball fouled off. He throws that one hard. 1-2. Freddie Norman, 11 victories and 5 defeats as a Red. He really came out of nowhere to bail them out. The 1-2 pitch to Yeager. Screwball hit into left field. Base hit. The bat's out in front of the mound. Rose fielding it, gets it back in. So Yeager loses his bat, but lines a single to left. And the batter is Lee Lacy.
Second baseman, Lee Lacy.
Lee Lacy hitting .200 with 8 RBIs. Right-hand hitting second baseman Davy Lopes has been bothered by muscle spasms in his back. And they got to him again yesterday. So Lacy finished up. Norman delivers, slow curve, that's over for a strike, 0-1. The Dodgers, you remember, opened up against the San Diego Padres. Lacy was in the starting lineup and went 1 for 5. He had 2 hits the next game. There's a strike, 0-2, and 1 hit the next game. And it looks like he was off and running, and then he started to struggle at the plate, and before you know it, Davy Lopes took over. Strike 2 pitch. Lacy punches it into right field. Base hit. Yeager's being waved to third. Armbrust's throw is a good throw, but it gets by Menke. Down to second base goes Lacy. The runners at second and third. Armbruster is charged with the throwing error. So second and third, 1 out, and Tommy John coming up. Olympia Beer, happy to send it all to you. The Dodgers and the Reds rolling around Dodger Stadium in the last home game of the year. Hope you're well stocked with plenty of cold Ole. Tommy John, the batter bench, is trying to call Armbruster up in right field. Now Foster and Armbruster come up. Tommy has 14 hits and a half a dozen RBIs. He has the same number of RBIs as Messersmith. Curveball is low, ball 1. Andy has 1 more hit. So TJ, with a base hit now, could take the lead in 2 departments that pitchers really cherish: most hits and most RBIs. Norman, with the infield up, comes back to the plate as a ground ball into left field. Yeager scores. Stopping at third is Lacy, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Tommy John has the most hits, 16, the most RBIs, 7, and they bring him his jacket.
Shortstop, Bill Russell.
So Bill Russell coming up with runners at first and third. The Dodgers with 3 hits and a throwing error. Russell flied to center in the first inning. 1 out. 3-0 Dodgers. Freddie Norman set at the belt. Works Russell, and is a drive into left center field and deep. Back goes Foster. One hands it on the track. Lacy tags and scores. It's 4-0 Dodgers. So the Dodgers leading 4-0 against Freddie Norman, and Tom Paciorek, the batter. The bullpen gets busy for Cincinnati now, as Norman has allowed 4 runs and 5 hits. Johnny Bench out to the mound to talk to Freddie. Paciorek went with Norman and doubled into the right field corner. Down in the bullpen, right-hander Roger Nelson, who has been hurt a great deal. He's only been in 12 games. Nelson is loosening up. Norman ready, left hand's a fastball, foul back, 0-1. So the Dodgers, if nothing else, being stubborn and willful. They do not want to be the team that loses to give Cincinnati the championship. They want to make sure that if and when the Reds do it, they do it on their own against somebody else. Pitch to Paciorek inside, 1-1. We mentioned the so-called magic number has been reduced to 1. A Reds victory or a Dodger defeat, whichever comes first, and it's all over. 1-1 the count to Paciorek. Norman screwball, a dandy for a strike. 1-2. Boy, that thing corkscrewed up to the plate. Steve Garvey on deck. You could take a cork out of a bottle with that one. Norman ready in the 1-2 pitch. Another Scroogey, but very high. 2-2. Norman, a little angry at himself, snatches at the return throw. You can just imagine how badly Norman would like to be the clinching pitcher and beat his old team, the Dodgers. Remember the night he won here in San Diego and he did a cartwheel, a somersault out on the mound? 2-2 breaking ball is swung on and missed. That'll do it for Paciorek. But the Dodgers get 2 runs, 3 hits, an error, a man left, and at the end of 2, Dodgers 4, Reds nothing.
Members have so many different kinds of recreational vehicles to choose from, so there's bound to be one that fits your wants and your budget. No matter what kind of RV you choose, chances are Dodge has some new ideas for it. Take the pickup, one of the most popular of all RVs. Dodge has introduced a club cab on their pickups. This cab gives you an extra 34 cubic feet of storage space right behind the seats. Great for all the things you want to keep right with you. Now, when you turn to more sophisticated motor vehicles, Dodge is still with you. More than 80% of all motor homes built today ride on Dodge chassis. And the newest ones have a suspension that makes this the smoothest riding motor home chassis Dodge has ever built. And there's a new 440 V8 engine that comes complete with an electronic ignition system. It's this kind of advanced thinking, this giving you what you want, that makes people turn to Dodge for leadership in recreational vehicles.
Davis, 9.
2 innings are in the books, and the Dodgers with deuces in each of the first 2 innings, leading 4-0. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. No runs, no hits, and 1 error for the Reds. The last home game of the year. The Dodgers shove off tomorrow at 1:30 and fly to Atlanta. They'll be tangling with Henry Aaron. Aaron homered last night. He has 712. So he needs 2 to tie and 3 to establish the record. And naturally, he'll have ample opportunity to do it against the Dodgers, because they'll be in there for 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. Then the Dodgers will conclude the year in San Diego Friday night and Saturday night. And from the looks of things, that will also conclude San Diego. Although what's going to happen to that franchise is still apparently very much up in the air. But that's the upcoming week. The Dodgers and the Braves for 3, San Diego for 2, and then it'll be see you next year. The end of 2 innings, Dodgers 4, and the Reds nothing. In the East, the New York Mets won. It's up to the Pirates to win the second game. They already won the first game, and they're even 1-1 at the end of 4. The Pirates can pick up a half a game and whittle the Mets' lead to a half, or they can surrender a half by losing, and then the Mets would lead by 1.5. So that's a big one. We'll watch it for you carefully. Let's go to the third. 4-0 Dodgers, and for more play, here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny, and Menke, Cheney, and Norman do up here now as Tommy John gets set to go with it here in the third. The windup and the pitch on the way. Fastball is a strike, 0-1. Tommy retired the side to note in the second. Leadoff batter Rose was on an error, but they promptly doubled him up. So TJ's faced only 6 men. Curveball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Dodgers, among other things, are trying to snap a losing streak to the Reds. They have lost 7 straight to the Reds. Here's a curve strike, and it's 1-2. And that all began on that fateful Sunday on July the 1st, when Don Sutton carried the lead into the 9th inning, and Hal King hit a 2-out, 2-strike home run against him. And the Dodgers haven't won a game since that one. They won the night before 8-7 in overtime. Here's a fastball, low and away, ball 2, and it's 2-2. And some say, of course, that was the ball game that sparked the Reds' turnaround and got them on the right track. But the Dodgers, nonetheless, have not won since then. So they've lost 7 straight to the Reds. There's a bouncing ball wide of third, and the hole is short, backhanded by Russell, no play. Menke gets an infield hit to deep shortstop. That'll bring on Darrell Cheney, batting 186. It's kind of strange how the Reds have been able to do it with the guys you don't expect to do it, too. In a great number of those 7 losses, it has not been Bench, Rose, Perez, or Morgan, but it has been Menke and Cheney and Hal King and Armbruster and Griffey and some of the lesser lights, who are fine ball players nonetheless. But the Dodgers hope to contain the big hitters and have been hurt by the little hitters. Here's the pitch for a strike, 0-1. Cheney batting 186. On deck is Norman. 0-1 count. Menke away from first. Now the look and the pitch. Fastball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Atlanta leading Houston 10-0. And Henry is not playing in that one today. He'll play on Tuesday. 1-1 count. Now the look, and here's the pitch. Tapped over the mound near second. Lacey up with it. Will have to go to first base in time. Cheney is out, and Menke goes into second base on the roller. So 1 away, and the batter will be pitcher Freddie Norman. Norman coming on. Has 6 hits in 78 trips to the plate. So he's batting 0-7-7. Norman steps in, 1 out, 1 on. When is a spare tire not a spare tire? Well, when it's a flat tire. Ask your Union 76. Norman at bat, right-hand hitter. Fred has 2 RBIs on the year, takes a curve strike, 0-1. The Dodgers 4, the Big Red Machine 0 as we play in the 3rd inning. Dodgers 2 in the 1st and 2 in the 2nd. Now the look, and here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a good breaking ball right into his shoe tops, and Freddie swung and missed it. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Tommy John checks, looks, delivers. Curve is out. One ball, 2 strikes. Norman waits again, and John checks his signs. Now the look back, and the pitch on the way. High. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. We're in the 3rd inning. Now the pitch. Just missed outside, ball 3. On deck is Pete Rose. And Tommy John now trying to get Norman for the 2nd out and not pitch to Rose with 2 men on. Pete, the league's leading hitter, at .344. All right, Tommy John out of a stretch, a 3-2 pitch coming up. Tapped to the third base side, it'll go foul ball. So Norman will come back to try it again. Yeager chases the ball down and hands it to John. 3-2 the reading. On the scoreboard, Pittsburgh beat Montreal in the first game 6-3. Keeson the winner and Stoneman the loser. Stargell had his 42nd home run. Montreal a 6-game losing streak after getting right into the thick of the pennant race. They have dropped out now to 3 games under the 500 mark. The Mets won today. They beat St. Louis 5-2, and that slows down the Cardinals. They are 76-80. There's a roller toward shortstop. Up with it is Russell. Here's his throw. It is in time to get Norman for the 2nd out. And the batter will be Rose. Pete Rose at bat. Hit a fly ball to right field that was dropped by Ferguson first time up. Rose hitting .344. Leads the league in hitting and in hits. Now the look, and here's the pitch. A curveball that's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Now the 1-0 look, and the pitch on the way. Tapped in front of the plate. It's foul ball. Yeager out to play it. But the ball just did bounce foul. Crowd booing plate umpire Wendelstedt on the call. All right, Rose back in to try it again. One count to Pete. Runner at second base, Menke. The look and the pitch on the way. Ground ball back to Johnny. Has it. Waits for Garvey. Throws in time, and the side retired. Rose out, pitcher to first. They're all gone. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Dodgers 4 and the Reds nothing. Freddie Norman now warming up with Johnny Bench. The Dodgers will start off with Garvey, Ferguson, and Say against Norman. Dodgers picked up 2 runs in the first inning and 2 more in the second. On the scoreboard, Atlanta 10, Houston nothing, playing in the 9th inning. Harrison all the way for Atlanta. And San Diego leading San Francisco by a score of 7-2. And that game is in the bottom of the 8th inning. Home runs, Colbert has 2, Kendall 1, and Roberts 1. 20s and McCovey for the Giants. Kirby going for San Diego, Bradley, Moffett, and McMahon for San Francisco. Philadelphia rallied for 5 runs in the 8th inning after a 4-run first inning, and they beat Chicago 9-7, and that just about strokes the Cubs out of there. And it's going to make it a 4-team race, but actually it's down to a 2-team race right now because the Cardinals and the Expos are both 3 games behind, and that's a pretty good hill to climb at this stage. Here's Garvey at bat, homered his last time up. Garvey's had 3 home runs in the last 2 games. Takes the pitch for a strike, 0-1. Steve has hit 6 home runs at home and 1 away. The 1 away was at Montreal, and strangely enough, he hit 4 of them against Cincinnati here at home. There's a half swing on a breaking ball, strike 2. The Dodgers as a team have hit 62 home runs here this year compared to 46 last year. The previous high was 47 in 1962, the first season the Dodger Stadium was opened. So they moved the fences in a bit this year, and it apparently has helped. 62 home runs for the home team. Dodgers have hit only 43 on the road. Now the 0-2 pitch, up high for a ball, and the count goes 1-2. Last year, the visitors at Los Angeles hit 37 home runs. This year they have hit 59. All right, the 1-2 pitch on the way. Foul back, out of play. Make it 60 now they've hit. One ball, 2 strikes. Garvey waiting, 1-2 reading. The pitch on the way from Norman. A half swing on the screwball struck him out. So Garvey goes down on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Freddie Norman. Brings to bat Joe Ferguson. Joe grounded a 3rd his last time up. Fergie, the batter, hitting .264. He had a big day yesterday. All right, Ferguson in there waiting. Now the pitch on the way. Over for a strike at the knees, 0-1. A grand slam home run for Richie Zisk in the 5th inning of the second game. It looks like the curtains are going to close down for Montreal now. If they lose a doubleheader in 7 in a row, they would be 3.5 out. And it would just about be curtains for the Expos in their gallant bid to make it. But they're going to be a little shy. Fergie swings at a fastball, strike 2, 1-2. Ellis is the pitcher for Pittsburgh. Torres relieved by Scott in the 5th inning, and a grand slam home run for Richie Zisk. That makes it at least 5-1. Pittsburgh leading Montreal in the second game. The 1-2 pitch, Fergie takes low and outside for a ball, and the count is 2-2. Now they show at the end of 5 innings, Expos 1, Pirates 7 in that second game. Pitch to Ferguson, low, ball 3, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ball game is in the 3rd, 1 out. Dodgers lead 4-0. Three and 2 count. Freddie Norman into the windup, and down it comes. He walked him outside and high. First walk given up by Fred. And it brings up Ron Cey. Cey coming on.
Third base.
For Richie Zisk, it was his first Grand Slam home run in the majors. Runner on at first, Cey waiting in the pitch. Half swing foul out of play. Ron Cey waiting. Ferguson away from first base. Norman delivers. And Ronnie takes low for a ball, 1-1. Cey's had a pretty good year against the Reds. Hitting .340 against them for the year. All right, a 1-1 count. Dodgers 4, the Reds nothing. We're in the bottom of the third. Now Freddie Norman checks again, the look and the pitch. A swing and a miss at the screwball, 1-2. A 1-2 pitch. Lined into center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Ferguson turns at second, headed for third. The throw across, he hits the dirt, he's in there. The ball bounces away from Menke. And down the line, picked up by Bench. So Cey a single to center, and Ferguson goes to third on the throw. As Foster threw it in there, it bounced away from Menke, but no further advance and no error on the play. So the Dodgers have runners at first and third with one out in the third inning, and Willie Crawford will be the batter. Crawford coming on. He popped up his first time at bat, hitting .303. Willie on the way to the best year of his career in several categories, including games played, hits, total bases, home runs. All right, Crawford stepping in, trying to get some more for the Dodgers now. They have scored 2 in each of their first 2 turns. Pitch to Willie, low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Nelson is up again in the bullpen now. So Nelson working behind Norman down in the bullpen. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Willie Crawford with a .303 average this year. That's compared to his lifetime Major League average of .252. So he's about 50 points better than his lifetime average on the season. Now trying to pick up another run or 2 for the Dodgers. Willie was 66 RBIs. That's a career high. Next pitch low, ball 3, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. And on deck, catcher Steve Yeager. So Crawford is ahead in all departments. Games played, at-bats, hits, home runs, runs batted in. Just a very good year for Willie Crawford. 3-0 the count. Norman ready delivers. And he takes a strike, 3-1. Willie has a look at Lasorda, perhaps allowed to hit again if he wants to. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Garvey struck out, then Ferguson walked and Cey singled to center. Now again, left-hander Freddie Norman looks into bench for the sign. Here's the pitch on the way. He walked him. Curveball was low and outside. That loads the bases for Yeager. Steve singled his first time up. Walk number 2 given up by Norman, who has allowed 6 hits and 4 runs. And the Dodgers now trying to really open this one up. Cey standing at second. Ferguson on third, and at first base now Crawford as Yeager, hitting .252, steps in. Yeager's had 14 for 39 in hitting safely in his last 12 out of 15 games. First pitch is low, ball 1. So Norman, 12-12 on the year, 11-5 with the Reds. And the Dodgers trying to put the slug to him right here. Here's the look and the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Yeager looked like he was going to right field on that breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lee Lacy is on deck. All right, Norman checking signs. Bases full, 1 out here in the third inning. The Dodgers 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Norman ready, delivers. Ground ball wide to third. Menke goes to second, 1 on to first. Double play, and the side is retired. So Yeager hits a sharp ground ball to third, and they get the double play. 5-4-3, and the Dodgers miss a chance to really break it open. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 2 in the score at the end of 3 innings of play. Dodgers 4 and the Reds nothing.
The better the mileage you get with Union 76 gasoline, the better you like your Union 76 dealer. So here are a few tips on how to get the most out of a gallon of gas. How about starting a cold engine? Well, it doesn't pay to let it idle unnecessarily. Union 76 suggests you start up, give the oil a few seconds to start circulating. Now that's seconds, not minutes. And then drive off, maintaining moderate speeds until the engine is warm. Union 76 also suggests that you never race a cold engine. All you're doing is burning up a lot of gas at 0 miles to the gallon. Another thing that can affect mileage is low tires. Union 76 recommends keeping them at the right pressure because an underinflated tire creates drag and that costs gasoline. Your Union 76 dealer will check your tires for you. Every week, ask him to do it. He'd be glad to help you get the most out of a gallon of Union 76 gasoline. So do what all of us do. Put a man with spirit on your side. The spirit of 76.
All right, we'll go along into the 4th inning. Final score, the Angels walloped Minnesota 15-7. Nolan Ryan got his 20th win. He had a 15-2 lead going into the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Twins scored 5 times. But Ryan breezed on in. 21, 16 losses for Nolan. 15 runs, 15 hits for the Angels, and 7 runs, 13 hits for Minnesota. All right, let's go to the 4th. More play. Here's Ben.
All right, Jerry, for the Reds, Joe Morgan, followed by Tony Perez, and then Johnny Bench. Morgan hit into a double play in the first inning, so little Joe 0 for 1, hitting .284. Morgan, left-hand hitting second baseman. Tommy John looks for a sign, leading 4-0. TJ ready and delivers. Fastball on the hands, foul back in the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Joe Morgan. The National League East is still very much alive with the Mets out in front. If the Pirates can hold on to that lead furnished by Richie Zisk's grand slammer, they'll reduce the Mets' lead to a half a game. The pitch to Morgan inside, 1-1. What is important, I think, is particularly so for the Reds. Curveball is hit to deep right field. Back goes Ferguson to the wall. It's gone. So Tommy John throws a breaking ball to little Joe, and Morgan hits his 25th home run of the year to tie him with Perez and Bench. What a year Joe Morgan is having. That makes it 4-1 Dodgers. And we'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network. So big Tony Perez coming up. The Reds have 16 home runs, 7 of them here. Perez takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Getting back to the National League East, if you are a member of the Cincinnati Reds, your preference would be against whom as an opponent? The pitch to Perez outside ball 2. New York, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Montreal, Chicago. Guaranteed the one they would just as soon not see would be the New York Mets. There's a drive to right center. Pashorik's going to have to run it down to the wall. It's off the wall. Tony into second base with a stand-up double. And so just like that, Tommy John's lead is threatened to be cut in half. On a home run and a double, the Dodger lead is 4-1, and the batter is Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
Third hit off Tommy John. The thing that would bother the Reds, anything can happen in a short series, but when you face the New York Mets, that means you're going to see Tom Seaver twice, and left-hander John Matlack and Jerry Koosman. And so the Mets who are a dark horse, suddenly in first place in the East, and they have just the kind of pitching that could actually carry them right over the Reds or anybody else. Here's Johnny Bench, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike. That really fooled Yeager. It popped out of his middle way off to the left. 0-1 to count. So that's the one thing about a regular season race. It's no fluke. Whoever wins in the division, he wins because that club is the best team. After 162 games, you can't really argue about that. But in a playoff, best 3 out of 5, any one team can get hot and beat another. So the one club I think the Reds would just as soon avoid would be the New York Mets. Tommy John at the belt, a look back at second base. Now TJ outside the bench. 1 ball, 1 strike. Four runs on a half a dozen hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 3 hits for the Reds, each side with an error. Tommy deliberately set at the belt, now to bench inside. Missed the corner. Ball 2. Dodger bullpen begins to stir. Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer. Dodgers led 4-0 at the end of 3. Joe Morgan got a breaking ball that was up, and he hit it into the right field bleachers. And then Perez followed with a long double to right center. And the batter is Johnny Bench, nobody out, and George Foster on deck. 2-1 pitch to Bench. Breaking ball away. Ball 3. Well, Tommy seemed to sail through the lineup the first time, but it's trouble the second time around. Tommy looks at second base. The 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. The difference to Bench, he got the ball down. Against Morgan, he got it up, and Joe hit it out. 3-2 to Johnny Bench. He grounded out to Russell. Bill made a good play to get him in the second inning. He had to flash to his left. Russell leans to read a sign from Yeager. Now the pitch to Bench. Curveball got him swinging. So Bench strikes out. 1 away, and George Foster coming up. Foster, hitting .370 at the start of the game, struck out in the second inning. 1 out. TJ looks in to get a sign from Yeager. The outfield deep for Shorrock, just slightly off the mark, shading towards left center. Tommy's sinker, a strike. Always made with the finest and with extra care. The West's own pork products from Farmer John. Screwball outside. He turned it over but missed by a lot. One and one. The count to George Foster. Tommy John ready, and the pitch to the right-hand hitter. Good breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 1-2. Dodgers 4, Reds 1. 1 out in the 4th inning. Tommy ready, and the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Got him swinging. So he strikes out Bench and Foster. Good breaking stuff. And the batter is Ed Armbrister. That would be the 3rd strikeout for Tommy, and he struck out Foster twice. Armbrister grounded to Ron Cey in the second inning. Right-hand hitting right fielder is 0 for 1. TJ left foot on the rubber. Armbrister waiting. Now Tommy left hands a fastball for a strike. 0-1. Dodgers 4 runs on a half a dozen hits. The Reds 1 run, 3 hits. The run, a home run by Joe Morgan, is 25th of the year. The strike 1 pitch, screwball outside. 1-1. Dodgers trying to spoil the Reds' ride home. 1-1 to count. Tommy ready, comes back with a fastball low and inside. Smothered nicely by Yeager behind the plate. Ball 2. 2-1. For the Reds, win or lose, this is a happy day. It's their last game on the road. They go home for 6. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Sinker, swung on and missed, strike 2. The Reds go home to play 3 night games with San Diego and next weekend with San Francisco. Two and two to Ed Armbruster. Perez at second, 2 out in the 4th, 4-1 Dodgers. Sinker popped in the air, back of first. Garvey needing help. Lacy coming in foul ground, and he can't get it. So Perez will go back to second and try it again. That's a very tough sky. Garvey had his shades down immediately, but he couldn't catch it. Lacy, with a right-hand hitter up, was shading towards up the middle. So he had a long way to go, and he couldn't catch up to it. So 2-2 the count to Ed Armbruster. The right fielder, in this instance Joe Ferguson and Armbruster, they really have to fight the glare today. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Sinker missed, ball 3. The left fielder and center fielder, particularly the left fielder, the right side of Dodger Stadium is still washed in sunshine. So Crawford and Rose are looking in at home plate, and when that ball is hit, it's immediately lost in the shirt sleeves. So, boy, it's tough to play in the outfield on a day like today. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Armbruster hits a high fly ball to deep center, but Paciorek has a play. Tommy, sunglasses down, makes the catch. That's the first put out in the outfield. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. At the end of 3.5, Dodgers 4, Reds 1. Boy, talk about convenience. Talk about ham that's extra lean, extra tender, and incredibly delicious. Well, now you're talking about Farmer John's new 6-pack of fully cooked smoked ham steaks. Yes, 6 2-ounce ham steaks in a see-through vacuum seal package. So you know what you're getting with no can to block your view. Plus, no can to open, no gelatin to scrape off, and no slicing to do. Best of all, these savory ham steaks are Farmer John smoked. Smoked as only he does it, with smoke from native western wood to give them a heartier western flavor. And, of course, they're Farmer John fresh, meaning ham cured here in the West from strictly fresh eastern corn-fed pork. Just think, 6 smoked ham steaks conveniently packaged and fully cooked, so you can enjoy them cold as well as hot. Look for Farmer John's new 6-packs of smoked ham steaks in the deli or meat department of your store. And if you don't see them, be sure to ask for them. Do it today. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Dodgers 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The Reds 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. The home run by Joe Morgan. Dodgers picked up 2 in the 1st inning on a bomb by Steve Garvey. Now it'll be Lee Lacy, followed by Tommy John, and then Bill Russell, and left-hander Freddie Norman, who's been struggling, among other things, fighting his control. He got out of what might have been his last inning in the 3rd, with Roger Nelson throwing back of him for the 2nd time in 2 innings. The Dodgers had the bases loaded and 1 out, and Norman was really struggling just to survive, and he served up a double play ball to Steve Yeager, and that got him well in a hurry. Now Lee Lacy at the plate. He looks at a slow curve and a big bender over for a strike. 0-1. Lacy was the Dodgers' starting second baseman on the 6th of April, and he played until about the 22nd of April. He takes high. 1-1. That's when the Dodgers started Davy Lopes, and that's when Davy Lopes just took over. So it's been a very frustrating year for young Lee Lacy. Norman's next one is high, ball 2, 2-1. Lacy is not the ideal utility infielder because he's a kid. Better he should be playing. But as we said, he had apparently clinched second base. He had had a fabulous spring. They just couldn't hold a job, and then it was just taken away by Davy Lopes. Breaking ball stayed up, ball 3. Lacy looks down at Tommy Lasorda. Now Lee back up to the plate. Freddie Norman has walked 2 in the 3rd inning. He comes back 3-1, and the screwball is lifted to shallow left. Out goes Cheney. In comes Rose. It's Rose. Cheney on his knees, skidding out of the way. So Lacy, a looping fly ball out. One down. Tommy John coming up. At the end of the third quarter at the Coliseum, the Rams 17 and the Atlanta Falcons nothing. Tommy John waiting at the plate. Norman delivers, and the pitch is low, ball one, 1-0. Jerry reminds me that the Rams are trying to do to their counterparts what the Dodgers did to the Braves. The 1-0 pitch outside, the Braves lost 9 in a row at Dodger Stadium. Now the Rams are trying to take care of the Falcons, so Atlanta will not look kindly on Los Angeles. They'll be shut out here. The pitch to Tommy John, a strike, 2-1. Two and one to Tommy John. Norman ready, and Fred delivers. Fastball low, ball 3. 3-1. Here's a 3-1 pitch coming up, and it's low and inside, ball 4. So a walk by Tommy John with one out, and that'll bring up Bill Russell. Bill Russell coming up. Russell has flied to center and then had a scoring fly ball to center in the second inning. So Tommy, with a base hit, an RBI, now gets a walk, and Russell checks in. Fourth inning, 4-1 Dodgers. Norman at the belt. Checks first, delivers. And the pitch low and inside, ball 1. 1-0. Now the next one to Russell is bounced foul outside of third, down the line. 1-1. Freddie Norman, 12-12 with the league, but more important, 11-5 since he's been pitching for the Reds. 1-1 pitch to Russell. Fastball popped up. The shortstop, Cheney, angles out on the grass. Sunglasses glistening. The rangy shortstop handles it. 2 down. That brings up Tom Paciorek. He went with Norman and doubled into the right field corner, hitting a pitch away, then scored on Garvey's home run. Then in the second inning, Tommy struck out. He's 0 for 1. So Paciorek, all told, 1 for 2. He started today at 250. Norman's slow curve is low, ball 1. Harry Wendelstedt, the plate umpire. Augie Donatelli at first, Bob Engel at second, Dave Davidson at third. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball hit to dead center. Back goes Foster, away back. She's gone. Tommy Paciorek hits one over the center field fence with Tommy John aboard, and the Dodgers lead 6-1. And Wimpy, as he is called on the ball club, gets a hero's greeting in the dugout. 2 $10 books of Union All Auto script to Tommy Paciorek, 2 books to the Salvation Army, Post Office Box 6654 in Tucson. And here's Garvey, who muscled one out in the first inning. Norman ready and delivers way outside with a screwball. The Dodgers hitting 2 home runs today. Remember, yesterday against the Reds they had 4. That's a half a dozen in 2 games. They did not have one the night before. Crawford just missed one. Garvey fouls it back and the count 1-1. Last year the Dodgers hit 46 home runs at Dodger Stadium. This year 63. Last year, opponents hit 37 here. This year, 61. The 1-1 pitch, the ground ball to shortstop. Cheney is up with it across to first for the out. But the Dodgers have added 2 more. And at the end of 4, Dodgers 6, Reds 1.
In talking about Union Bank on these broadcasts, I often invite you to give them a call so you can find out firsthand how the business bank can help your business. And I hope many of you have done just that. But for those who haven't, here's a general idea of what to expect. First of all, after getting acquainted, you would have an account manager assigned to your business. And from that point on, through one call to this one man, you would have access to all the many services of Union Bank. Your account manager would make it his business to know your business inside and out. He'd help simplify problems for you and present you with clear, understandable options. And as needed, he'd see to it that your business receives the necessary tax and investment counsel, trust services, pension and profit-sharing management, whatever is required to make running your business easier and more profitable. You'll find the account manager only at Union Bank, so why not make that call this week? You'll talk with a most unusual bank, Union Bank.
As we go to the 5th inning, the Dodgers 6 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The Reds 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers home runs by Garvey with a man aboard, Peshorek with a man aboard, and for the Reds, a home run with nobody on by Joe Morgan. Tommy John getting ready to pitch to Dennis Menke, Darrell Cheney, and we'll see about Freddie Norman. Roger Nelson has been pitching a ball game back of Freddie in the Cincinnati bullpen. So Dennis Menke coming up. It's an interesting point about the home run. It is a very dramatic and fan-appealing play. And, of course, when a home club hits it, the crowd really goes wild. But there's also an interesting other point about it. Menke, a half-swing tapper back to John. Tommy has it and throws him out. 1 away. This year, twice at Dodger Stadium, the Dodgers have hit 4 home runs in a game. Much to the delight of the customers, except they lost each game. They hit 4 home runs against San Diego and lost the game 9-6. They hit 4 home runs against Cincinnati yesterday and lost it 11-9. Cheney takes a strike. Larry Stahl, left-hand batter, is on deck. He'll hit for Freddie Norman. Tommy John, strike 1 pitch, low, 1-1. Olympia Beer, happy to send it all to you from Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers and Tommy John leading 6-1. TJ comes back 1-1, and the sinker is rolled up along first base. Garvey gets to it, but it's fouled by that time. So Cheney will come back and try it again. Crowd groaning. The Giants rolled to 7 in the 8th inning. So that gives them 9 and gives the Padres 7 as they go to the 9th inning. 9-7 San Francisco. Dodgers leading 6-1 here in the 5th inning. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, low and away, ball 2. The Dodgers with 2 home runs today have hit 106. They need 2 more to match the 66 club's effort of 108. And the pitch fouled off. However, again, numbers don't mean anything until you investigate it. The 66 club did it when the fences were back. 2-2 to Darrell Cheney. Tommy John's fastball on the hands, hit wide at first. Garvey juggles, recovers, drops it, recovers, throws it over John's head, but it's backed up by Yeager. Steve really boxed that one a couple of times. He beat that thing to death. He'll draw an error. Garvey did everything but sign his name on the ball incorrectly. All right, Steve can't handle a ground ball by Cheney, and the batter is Larry Stahl, hitting for Freddie Norman. So the Dodgers refuse to cooperate,
For Norman, number 29, Larry Stahl.
The Dodgers ruining what might have been a scripted victory for the Reds. You know, ex-Dodger, little Freddie Norman, pitching them to the championship today by beating his ex-club, the Dodgers. Well, you get a rewrite man on that right away. It's 6-1 Dodgers in the fifth, and Freddie Norman is gone. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Larry Stahl. Ground ball hit slowly to Lacey. Tough for two. He juggles. Throws to first in time. Lacey is a very fancy second baseman. It's his mannerism. He's not trying to be fancy, but he's just a fellow who does everything with a flourish. But really, that flourish of his hurts him. He has to learn to cut down on all of his movements, because he started to pick that ball up as if he was picking a flower. 2 down. Darrell Cheney at second base, and here's Pete Rose. The really good ball players are rarely that fancy. They're hard-nosed. They just go over and pick it up and throw you out, like a Pete Rose, like a Bill Mazeroski. Pitch outside. Ball 1-0. Fellow looks like he's dancing out there. He's wasting time. 1 ball and no strikes to Pete Rose. Tommy John at the belt, looks back at second, works the plate, and it's looped in the air to right center field. Ferguson angles over, waiting, and makes the catch. No runs, no hits, an error man left. Into 4.5. Dodgers 6, Reds 1.
Say, are you in for a question or two? Well, here's a little baseball quiz for you. See if you can figure out these Dodger Hall of Famers just from their nicknames, and they should be pretty easy. First of all, Casey, then Campy, and finally, Dazzy. Well, if you came up with Casey Stengel, that was easy. And if you came up with Campy as Roy Campanelli, you're doing all right. But were you stumped by Dazzy? That would be Dazzy Vance. All right, we'll give you another chance. Who goes by the nickname of Ole? Why, sure, none other than good old Olympia beer. People have been calling Olympia Ole for more than 75 years now, ever since a man named Leopold Schmidt found himself a naturally perfect brewing water, brought himself the choicest hops and barley malt, and brewed the first Olympia beer. Well, the world has changed a lot since then, but one thing hasn't changed. Olympia is still made the same way, with that natural brewing water and the very finest of hops and barleys. So the next time, ask the man for an Ole.
15. Right field pavilion, 306.
Bottom of the fifth inning, the Dodgers leading the Reds 6-1. Home runs by Steve Garvey and Tom Paciorek leading the way.
Rappaport, 15. Green, 9.
Roger Nelson, who has been hurting,
153.
comes in to pick up the pieces for Freddie Norman.
Green, 55. You, as an Uncle Sam, 2.
The Rams just scored another touchdown on a 29-yard pass from quarterback John Hadle to Jack Snow. The extra point by David Ray. So the Rams are leading Atlanta 24-0 in the fourth period. Here's Joe Ferguson, and Nelson misses ball 1. Roger Nelson shakes his head, looks in to get a sign. Now the right-hander into the windup. Back he comes, and he missed high and outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Nelson only 3-2 at the league. He's been hurting most of the year. He's been in only 12 games. Started 8 and completed 1. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fergie looks at a strike. So Freddie Norman had his day ruined. Norman went 4 innings and is charged with 6 runs, 7 hits, including 2 home runs and a double. The 2-1 pitch. Fergie takes a strike. 2-2. Nelson working, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ferguson, who was grounded out and walked. Roger delivers way outside to the backstop. Ball 3. You know, this was the year they brought the fences in at Dodger Stadium. It has been the year of the home run. The Dodgers have hit 17 more home runs here this year That's an increase of 27%. The opponents have hit 24 more home runs. That's an increase of 40%. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. So down goes Ferguson. Overall, then, there's an increase of 33% of home runs hit this year than last year. And what is important, with all those home runs, the Dodgers have come out on top at home. If they win today, they will have won 50 and lost 31. So the home run has been very appealing to the ball club that is not known for hitting them. Back in 1969, the Dodgers were 50 and 31 at home. In 1966, they won 53. That's their best home year. They won 50 in 1965. And we go back to 1962 when they won 54. That's the most successful home club, and that club didn't make it. The 1-0 pitch. Shea drives it to center, but it's playable, and George Foster makes the catch for the out. So 2 down, and the batter, Willie Crawford. Say, for the full flavor of freshness in pork and pork products, a name you can be sure of is Farmer John. Talking about home runs, don't forget to be with us as we travel to Georgia and see whether Henry Aaron can do it. Henry has hit 712. He is not playing today. He hit a home run last night, but he rests after a night game. Crawford takes the strike. So Henry with 712 has next week to do it. And 3 of those games against the Dodgers. Crawford takes a pitch that misses, 1-1. 2 down, 5th inning. Dodgers 6, Reds 1. Nelson into the windup. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball low, ball 2. 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch to Willie Crawford. High, ball 3, 3-1. Roger Nelson is from Altadena, although he now makes his home in Shawnee, Kansas. He had a great year last year with Kansas City, 11-6. Crawford fouls a pitch upstairs, 3-2. Rogers, 6'3", 205-pounder, 29 years old. Three-two pitch. Fastball popped in the air, foul, behind the plate and out of play. Bench coming back, but it's in the seats. Boy, that thing kangarooed back up 12 rows. 3-2. Nelson came from Kansas City in a deal for Hal McRae and Wayne Simpson. Roger Eugene Nelson. Good fastball and a very good slider. Here's a 3-2 pitch on the way. Fastball popped in the air, and that thing has got cloud dust on it. Menke waiting for it to come down. Dennis moving to his left and one-hands it. So the Dodgers are done in the 5th inning, and at the end of 5. Dodgers 6, Reds 1.
Maybe it's time, new man who knows just what to do. Maybe it's time you knew a man who is right down the street from and with spirit on your side.
What's it like to have a man with spirit like Union 76 dealer Herb Ellis on your side?
Herb is top. We get stalled in the driveway and he comes right over. Also, he's always so pleasant when you come in for service. He's always smiling and nice.
Maybe it's time you put a man with spirit on your side.
A most colorful event set for Dodger Stadium November 11th to 16th, the annual Mobile Home and Recreational Vehicle Show, staged by the Trailer Coach Association. The greatest assemblage of such vehicles west of the Rockies in Dodger Stadium and in the parking areas. A great show, November 11th to 16th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Dodgers leading 6-1. 3 home runs have been stroked in the ball game today. Morgan won for the Reds, and for the Dodgers, Pashorik and Garvey each with a man on. Tommy John trying to hold the lead now, 6-1 as we go to the 6th. More play, and here's Vin.
All right, Jerry. Joe Morgan will start it off. Little Joe homered in the 4th inning, and a final score. The Rams added yet another. And they ran the Falcons and Norm Van Brocklin out of the Coliseum. Rams 31, Atlanta nothing, a final score. Tommy John delivers, fastball outside, ball 1, 1-0. Next Sunday, the Rams will be at Candlestick Park to play the 49ers. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Morgan. Sinker that missed, ball 2, 2-0. Of course, the Rams really poleaxed San Francisco in the exhibitions. Of course, now they play for a game check at Candlestick next Sunday. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Joe Morgan. Line drive into center field. Little Joe has himself a base hit. Pashorik gets it back in, and the batter will be Tony Perez.
Tony Perez, first base.
Tony Perez coming up. Jaime, okay? Okay, amigo. Perez. Perez in the spring. Tony waiting. 6-1 Dodgers in the... All my friends would think I'm phony if I call him Perez. There's no way. So Tony Perez at the plate. Tommy John delivers. Slow curve. Over for a strike, 0-1. What's in the name? The Phillies many years ago had a pitcher named John Buzzhart. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Tony swings and misses, strike 2. And after John had been in the league about a year or two, the Phillies suddenly announced that he wanted his name pronounced Bazard. Mr. Bazard is out in the yard. Then there was a big left-hander with the Pittsburgh Pirates who said his name was Bob Veely. Strike 2 pitch to Tony outside. And then after he had been around the league for a couple of years, he pronounced it Veal. Rose by any other name. 1-2 the count to Tony Perez. Tommy John deals, sinker just outside, ball 2. Charlie Hough. In fact, where were we? They pronounced it Howe. H-O-U-G-H. They said Charlie Howe. There's Huff, like in rough and tough. He's in the Dodger bullpen. The 2-2 pitch to Tony. Curveball hit to third. Say down to Lacey for 1. Back to Garvey. Double play. So Perez hits into a double play. 2 down, and the batter Johnny Bench grounded to short and struck out 0 for 2. Dodgers 6, Reds 1. We're in the 6th inning. The Dodgers trying to win their 50th game at home. Tommy John sinkers a high chopper. Russell has to retreat, jump in the air to glove it, throws, still got him. Good play. So Johnny Bench loses a hit to Russell. No runs, a hit, nobody left. At the end of 5.5, Dodgers 6, Reds 1.
Many of the folks living in the East enjoy some of the good things we do here, such as Big League Baseball. But there's a delicious something else they're denied. Bacon that tastes like Farmer John's. Why can't I get bacon like this at home is a question frequently asked by Eastern visitors. Well, the answer's simple. Only here in the West is there the kind of wood Farmer John uses in his bacon smoking. Native Western wood. That's the secret, because it's the distinctive smoke from this wood that gives Farmer John bacon its distinctively different Western flavor. Of course, there's a little more to it than this. Farmer John not only uses Western wood, but he smokes his bacon 2 to 3 times as long as some people. So the good Western flavor reaches through and through every ounce of the meat.
Farmer John bacon, the West's favorite by far, and enjoyed only in the West. Sit down to it often because, as they say, you just can't get too much of a good thing. The next time you shop, bring home the bacon. Bring it home from Farmer John. Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network. Bottom of the sixth inning, 6-1 in favor of the Dodgers. It'll be Steve Yeager, followed by Lee Lacy, and then Tommy John.
Catcher.
Yeager is single to left and hit into a double play. He's 1 for 2. Roger Nelson picking up the pieces for Freddie Norman, who went the first 4. Roger set the Dodgers down in order in the 5th inning, and a pitch to Yeager, a strike, little slider, 0-1. What a game at Candlestick. You know, the Giants got 7 in the 8th inning. That made it 9-7 Giants. San Diego has scored 4 in the top of the 9th. So it's now San Diego 11 and San Francisco 9. Of course, what the Dodgers would like to do is pick up a game on the third-place Giants and bury them. The strike 2 pitch is swung on and missed, and the bat goes to shortstop, where Cheney retrieves. 1 away. The Dodgers started today 3.5 games in front of the Giants. So that would make it, if they can hold on to it, 4.5 lead with 5 games left. Here's Lee Lacy. He takes a slider high, ball 1, 1-0. The pitchers in that little gem up north for San Diego, Kirby, Corkins, and Caldwell, the CCC. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Lacy. Slider missed, ball 2. For the Giants, Bradley, Moffitt, McMahon, Sosa, Carruthers, Willoughby. Colbert hit 2 home runs. Kendall and Roberts is also homered. 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike. 2-1. 1 out in the 6th. 6-1 Dodgers. Nelson into the windup, and the 2-1 pitch. Fouled away, off to the right, out of play. Lacy waiting, 2-2. Roger Nelson into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch outside, ball 3. Big man from Shawnee, Kansas. Roger Nelson. Right-hander's full count pitch to Lacy, fouled away off to the right. That carries upstairs, second deck. Still 3-2. The Dodgers going into today had drawn 2,086,000. And as a guess, it looks like they have about 50 here today. They'll wind about 2,013,000. Lacy fouls another one away, and the count 3-2. The Reds have drawn 1,866,000. They have 6 games to go, and if they draw 2 million, they're going to make a ton of money. Lacy, it's a high fly ball to dead center, but Foster has a play. George puts it away. 2 down. You know, and this is no sales pitch. This is not management speaking. It's just me. The Dodgers have not touched their ticket prices ever since they came out here. But in Cincinnati, well, to give you an idea, in Riverfront Stadium, they do not have any bleachers. In Cincinnati, they have $6 seats. And most of their ballpark is scaled at over 4. The cheapest seat is 2.5. Pitch foul back by Tommy, and the count 0-1. So if the Dodgers draw 2,001,000 and the Reds draw 2 million, the Reds will make a lot more money. I mean, that ain't no bad crowd to hang around with, either club. 1-1 to count to Tommy John. 1-1 to Tommy with 2 out in the 6th inning, 6-1 Dodgers. Bill Russell on deck. Nelson into the windup, and the right-hander's breaking ball is at his feet. Ball 2. Tommy, a base hit, an RBI, and a walk. He's 1 for 1. Nelson into the windup, and the 2-1 pitch is popped in the air. Tony Perez calling. Now moves in on the edge of the grass, and Morgan says, "I'll take it." So little Joe does, and that's that. So the Dodgers are gone. Nelson has retired 6 in a row, and at the end of 6, Dodgers 6, Reds 1.
Would you rip off a friend? Probably not, but that's what people do every time they shoplift. They're not only stealing from stores, they're stealing from their own friends, their family, and everyone else they know. Because every time a store owner suffers a loss from shoplifters, who do you think winds up paying for it? Not the owner, certainly. He can't stay in business by losing money. It's customers who ultimately make up shoplifting losses by paying higher prices, and that isn't fair to the rest of us. People who think they're ripping off the establishment aren't ripping off the establishment at all. They're ripping off every friend, every customer, every person they know who shops at that store. And they're even ripping themselves off by taking that big chance of being busted and convicted of shoplifting. No ifs, ands, or buts. Shoplifting is stealing. And since shoplifters cause higher prices, shoplifters take everybody's money. This message brought to you by this station and others who are concerned.
Through 6 innings, the Dodgers 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. The Reds 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error. So 3 innings to go in our final home game of the year. The Dodgers try to make it a 50 year at home, which would be a fine record. And it's up to Tommy John as he tries to win the most games he has ever won in the big leagues. Tommy has won 14 and is trying to win his 15. By the way, a bit of an upset for pro football fans. It's a final score. Oakland got a field goal in each of 4 quarters and beat Miami 12-7. John Madden beats Don Shula 12-7. San Francisco leading Denver at the end of 3 quarters, 30-20. And of course, the Rams, who beat the Falcons 31-0, will be playing the 49ers next Sunday. Well, let's go to the 7th. 6-1 Dodgers. For more play, here's Jer.
All right, Vinny, and here's Foster, Armbruster, and Menke coming on in the 7th inning. Foster has struck out twice. Tommy John now going into the 7th inning, and of course, Tommy has had problems getting past the 7th on a number of occasions, so they'll watch him closely here in this inning, the 7th inning. He has allowed just 4 hits, one of those a home run by Morgan, the other a double by Perez. They came back-to-back in the 4th inning. The pitch on the way to Foster. Fouled away on the ground, strike 1. The Dodgers, meanwhile, have made the most of 7 hits, 2 of them home runs, to drive in 4 of the runs. And John has driven in a run himself. All right, it is strike 1 count to Foster, right-hand batter, playing in center field. The windup and the pitch on the way. Low for a ball. George Foster, while he was in Indianapolis this summer, went to a psychiatrist to get treatment to restore his confidence or to increase his confidence. And apparently it has worked since he's come back. He's played well. Fastball, a strike, 1 and 2. He's hitting .370 since coming back, and he's had 4 home runs. Sparky says he can hit a ball as far as anyone. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Curveball bounced to shortstop. Russell near the bag. Throws across in time, and we have 1 away. 1 up and 1 down, and here's Armbruster coming on. A dirty carburetor can't ration gas to your engine very well. Why not get the most from your engine by using a gasoline that keeps your carburetor clean? Union 76 gasoline. Here's Armbruster at bat. He has flied out and grounded out. Tommy John delivers a bouncer wide of third, and the hole is short. Russell, one-hand pickup, can't play it. Say does, throws too late. Russell slapped at the ball. It came back to Say, who then threw too late, and Armbruster is on. We'll see how it's scored. Russell tried to come up and one-handed and come up throwing. And it's going to be an error on Russell. So Bill draws the error, and here's Dennis Menke at bat. Well, Russell tried to make the only play he had. That was come up with it on the run. And then get his man. But he had it bounce away. Say made a good recovery, but too late. Menke waiting. An infield hit and a bouncer to the pitcher. Here's a curve strike to Dennis. 0-1. Batting 185. He had a base hit to deep shortstop in the third inning. Four hits for the Reds. 7 hits for the Dodgers. We're in the 7th. Now the look, and here's the pitch. Curve inside for a ball, and the count is 1-1. San Diego beat the Giants 11-9. Ross in relief beat Sosa. All right, the 1-1 pitch on the way. Low and away for a ball. 2-2-1. So the Giants have 86 wins and 6 games left to play. The best they can do is win 92. The Dodgers, if they win this one, would have 91 and have a pretty good hold on. Here's a bouncer back to the mound. John goes to Russell. Russell goes to first. Double play to retire the side. So Tommy John starts the double play. 1-6-3, the Dodgers' third double play of the game. No runs, no hits, an error, and none left on. And the score at the end of 6.5. Dodgers 6 and the Reds 1.
Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. It's the water, oh, that makes it Ole beer. It's the water and a lot more.
Special care that makes Olympia such a special beer. That's Olympia. It's the way we age our Ole beer. It's the water and the lot. It's the hops and grain, the best that we can find. It's the extra time. That's just one reason why. The time to make it great, to make Olympia. It's the water and the lot.
Big crowd on hand. And it'll be Russell, Pashori, Garvey now as we go to play in the bottom of the 7th inning. Okay, waiting on Bill Russell to come up. Dodgers 6 and the Reds have 1. A near capacity crowd here to see the Dodgers and the Reds on the final game of the series and the home season. Dodgers have 5 left on the road. Okay, Russell ready to step in there. Bill 0 for 2, hitting .266. Russell hit .272 last year. Didn't play quite as many games. He's going to play perhaps the full schedule this year. Fastball up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Nelson came on to work in the 5th inning. He has retired 6 in a row. Roger Nelson. Now the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Cheney a step to his right, makes his throw in time, and Russell is out. So 7 in a row retired by Nelson. 1 out, and the batter will be Tom Paciorek. A double and a home run for Tommy today. Paciorek getting a chance to play the last month or so, and he has shown some of the promise that led to him being named Minor League Player of the Year last year. He was crowded out of a starting assignment this year. Got off to a slow start, but he's come on like gangbusters lately. Paciorek waiting at the plate. Now the windup and the pitch from Nelson. Fastball pops off Bench's glove. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Paciorek last year at Albuquerque hit .307 and led in a lot of departments. There's a high pop fly on the infield. Morgan backs up now, 3 steps on the outfield grass, and makes the play for the 2nd out. So Nelson has been turning them back. 2 down, and here's Garvey, a home run in the first inning, struck out in the third, grounded out in the fourth. Steve Garvey stepping in. On the mound, Nelson checking signs. Ready to go to Garvey. High with it, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Dodgers 6 and the Reds have 1. Roger Nelson into the windup, and the breaking ball is a strike, 1-1. The Reds go home. They play San Diego tomorrow night at Cincinnati. The Padres pulled one out today, survived a 7-run 8th, and scored 4 in the 9th to win from the Giants, 11-9. Here's a curve inside, ball 2. 2-1 now. Nelson into the windup again, delivers a curve high, ball 3, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike. Ferguson on deck. The Dodgers scored 2 at a time in the first, second, and fourth. 4 of the runs in on home runs. Shorik a man on, Garvey a man on. Garvey a high pop fly into center field. Foster coming up. He's waiting there now and has it for the out. Side retired. 9 in a row retired by Nelson. Dodgers gone in order. The score at the end of 7. Dodgers 6 and the Reds have 1.
What's the spirit of 76? Well, here's what one Union 76 customer had to say. 2 weeks ago, my brother-in-law and I were on our way into the country to get away from it all, and suddenly the water pump on our 64 wagon gave out. At 8:45 in the evening, the highway patrol gave us a lift into the nearest town to search for help. All the stations and repair shops were closed, but someone was sitting in the Union 76 station. All of a sudden, all the lights went on, and 3 Union 76 men came out of the station. Well, we told them our tale of woe. They could have told us to wait till morning, but like a flash, they went out and towed our car into town. One of the Union 76 men got the spare parts man to open his store at 10 p.m. for the part we needed. At midnight, we were on our way again. Believe us, that's what we call spirit. Well, friends, maybe it's time you put a man with spirit on your side. The spirit of 76.
Well, we move along into the 8th inning of the ball game. A reminder, Dandy Souvenir Bargain from Danny Goodman, all for $2, no extra charge for mailing. The new Dodger publication, All-Time Dodger Greats. 20 Dodger player pictures and a set of National League club pennants. And a Dodger batting glove. Send your orders to Danny Goodman, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, 90012. Only $2. All right, 8th inning, more play. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry. Phil Gagliano will hit for Darrell Cheney, and then Andy Costco will bat for Roger Nelson, and then it'll be Pete Rose. So Gagliano, Costco, and Rose. Have a birthday girl in the Dodger organization we want to salute her today, Irene Tangi. Best wishes from all of us, Irene. Phil Gagliano takes a strike, 0-1. Gagliano, veteran right-hand batter, takes a breaking ball for a strike. Phil hitting .299. Tommy John trying to go the distance. He's leading 6-1 in the 8th inning. And the strike 2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball low, ball 1. Gagliano is 15 for 39. Now it's 15 for 40. He looks at a curveball. Strike 3 called. And boy, did that thing sail over. 1 out. And Andy Costco coming up.
Your attention, please. Batting for Nelson, number 23, Andy Costco.
Don't forget, if your business has outgrown the little branch down on the corner, be sure to reach for a bank, a Union Bank regional head office. Here's Costco, and he looks at a breaking ball low, ball 1, 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way is walloped to left field. Back goes Crawford, away back. Costco has hit it out. So Andy Costco, an ex-Dodger, reaches the seats in left field. And for Andy, that's his 8th home run, his 19th RBI. That makes it 6-2 Dodgers. The 2 runs on home runs by Joe Morgan, and now the pinch hit by Costco.
Pete Rose, left field.
Pete Rose, the batter. Tommy John is the stingiest starting pitcher in giving up home runs. With the 2 today, he's given up 16 all year. The pitch to Rose outside, he faked a bunt. Ball 1. One thing about the Reds, they hit 2 home runs against the Dodgers today. That gives them 17 on the year. And there's a shot to left center field for Shorrock. Can't get it. It's going to go to the wall, bouncing over the wall. And it's a ground rule double for Pete Rose. So Tommy John is hit by lightning in the 4th inning. He gave up a home run to Morgan and a double to Perez. Here in the 8th inning, he gives up a home run to Costco and a double to Rose. Charlie Huff and Jim Brewer throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Dodgers leading 6-2, and here is Joe Morgan. Hit into a double play, homered and singled. So Joe is 2 for 3. So the Reds have hit 17 home runs against the Dodgers. Morgan has hit 3. Perez has hit 6. So little Joe waiting. Tommy John at the belt, a backward glance at Rose. TJ a bunt up along third, charging Say. Bare hand pickup, the throw is too late. Tommy John, who does not finish his games, but he has gotten a good 7, and he's on the edge of coming out again. Tommy has completed only 4 games all year. 4 in 30 starts. And as most of his games, he goes a strong 7 or thereabouts. And then he starts to run out of gas. And here comes Walter Alston. Tommy scraping at the dirt. Of course, if you're a starting pitcher and you can get your club into the 7th inning, you've really done your job. So Alston out to the mound. Huff and Brewer. The batter is Tony Perez. Clay Carroll is throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. And let's see if Alston lifts Tommy John here on closing day. He gestures with his left hand. Oh, I assume that means Brewer. We'll see.
Gentlemen, today's paid attendance.
Yep. So Jim Brewer coming in.
And 7 on the message board. The Dodgers.
We also get the paid attendance. It's 50,007. So 50,000 and the Magnificent 7 came out to see the Dodgers and Reds. It's 6-2 in favor of the Dodgers. All told in the house, 51,313. So the Dodgers draw 2,136,000 and change. That's a great year. So Jim Brewer coming in, and on the message board, sincere thanks from the Dodgers to the world's greatest fans. 9 times, 9 years, 2 million or more Angelinos have come out to see the Dodgers. Win, lose, or draw, the ball club really appreciates their patronage. And now Jim Brewer, disdaining the car, walks in from the bullpen like a matador, slings his jacket to Don Sutton, and Brew now will relieve Tommy John.
360. B is in victory.
The first thing out on the field as Brewer goes walking across the third base foul line, Pete Rose fakes as if he's going to start running home. Brew just takes the ball from Tommy John, and TJ head down, but he has no reason to do that. Goes walking off the field. He got his club into the 8th inning before running out of gas, and that's more than enough. Now it's up to the bullpen. So Tommy gets an ovation. He can't lose. 2 men on the base paths. He could win and be a 15-game winner. Now he doffs his cap to the crowd. Tommy Lasorda and the other boys come over to shake his hand. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Well, you're listening to the Dodger game right now, and this is Mike Walden, hoping you'll join me for the pregame show, Batter Up, 5 minutes before each and every Dodger broadcast here on KFI Los Angeles.
Jim Brewer, 6-8 with the league. Jimmy, of course, has been severely hurt by the home run ball. He has 8 losses. He has given up 8 home runs. And he's facing home run hitters now, Tony Perez and Johnny Bench. So Brew walks behind the mound. Pete Rose at third, Joe Morgan at first, 1 out, 6-2 Dodgers in the 8th. Brew rolling the ball around in the pocket of the glove, thinking over his pitches. Now Tony at the plate, and Brew goes to his stretch. Checks the runners. There goes Morgan. The pitch way inside. No play for Yeager. It was in the dirt. So Joe Morgan promptly steals his 67th base. So that's for openers. So now they have second and third. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Tony Perez. Tony has grounded out, doubled, and hit into a double play. But by that steal, that takes away a chance for a double play. 1-0 pitch to Tony. Screwball hit to left field, sinking for a base hit. That's going to get 2 runs home. And holding on at first is Perez, and that makes it Dodgers 6, Reds 4. So there's a lot of life left in the Big Red Machine, so don't go wandering away. Johnny Bench, representing the tying run, comes to the plate. The hit is charged to Brewer. Now you can close the book on Tommy John. 4 runs, 7 hits. Tommy had marvelous control, did not walk a batter. And here is Johnny Bench. Brewer ready, Jim delivers, and it's low and inside, ball 1. For the Dodgers, and it has happened so many times, the ball club is naturally proud of the fact it has come from behind so many times. I think it's 40 times. Bench hits a fly ball to Paciorek. Tommy went back, now comes up and makes the catch for the out. But in all honesty, there's another side to the coin, and that's one of the things the Dodgers hope to strengthen for next year.
George.
The Dodgers have seen the other club come from behind quite often. Here is George Foster. Foster struck out twice and grounded out, 0 for 3. 2 down, 3 runs over in the 8th. Dodgers 6, Reds 4. Brew ready and delivers, and there's a ground ball foul outside of third, 0-1. In the Dodger bullpen, Jim Brewer's earned run average is over 3. Pete Rickard is over 3. Rao, who has started some, is 4. And over 3 for a bullpenner is not too good. Pedro Bobon, for instance, is 2. Jeff Zahn, the left-hander. Charlie Huff, the right-hander, in the Dodger bullpen. Carroll in the Reds pen, and Foster takes at the knuckles. 1-1. Brew wandering back of the rubber. 6-4 Dodgers in the 8th inning. Dodgers led 2-0, 4-0, 4-1, 6-1, now 6-4. The pitch to Foster missing, ball 2. 2-1. Pittsburgh beat Montreal 7-4 in the second game, so they trailed the Mets by half a game. That was a must victory for the Pirates. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Foster. Screwball outside and very high. He didn't have much on that at all. Ball 3. That is not the Jim Brewer screwball that we looked at for so many years. That's a pale imitation of it. So the Pirates sweep a doubleheader, and Montreal has lost 7 straight. 3-1 pitch is fouled away. 3-2. The Pirates and Montreal play another doubleheader tomorrow. There's a looper, and Lacey goes over, plays it on a bounce, throws to Garvey just in time. For the Reds in the 8th inning, they get 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 singles, a double, a home run, and a stolen base. And at the end of 7 1/2, Dodgers 6, Reds 4.
Well, it happened again, and you certainly can't do much better. In fact, you can't do any better. Once again this year, Farmer John batted 1,000 at the recent California State Fair. Out of 15 Farmer John products entered in this world-famous fair, all 15 won gold medals. 15 gold medals, mind you, more than any other packer, more than any other food processor, more than anybody. Judging at the California State Fair is completely impartial. The products carry no identification, no brand name to avoid possible bias. Each is presented to hundreds of visitors to the fair for their opinion of its flavor and appearance. And only those products judged of exceptional quality are awarded gold medals. 15 gold medals out of 15 entries. How about that? Keep this in mind when you push your cart through the meat department and delicatessen section of your store. Always reach for the gold medal winning products from Farmer John. Exceptional quality. Who could ask for anything more?
Bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. The Reds 4 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Andy Costco, who batted for Roger Nelson and hit a home run, stays in the game. Ed Armbrister, who was in right field, goes into center field. And a new pitcher, Clay Carroll, will take over in Foster's spot. That makes Ed Crosby hit in the number 8 spot. Clay Carroll. Carroll is another veteran relief pitcher who has found this year a struggle. Clay has 8 wins, 8 defeats. His earned run average is not good. It's almost 4. Carroll at one time was going so badly they reversed a normal procedure and they gave him a start. They pitched to Ferguson, low ball 1. Normally a starting pitcher has a lot of problems and they give him a few relief assignments. Clay went in reverse. The 1-0 slow curve is lifted back at third and down the line. Pete Rose running into the shadows across the foul line, one-hands it on the dead run. Pistol Pete, one of the outstanding players in the game. Boy, he is fun to watch. 1 down, and Ron Say the batter. When the Reds bat in the 9th inning, they are due to send up Ed Armbrister, Dennis Menke, and Ed Crosby. 6-4 Dodgers, 1 out in the 8th, and here's Ron Say. Carroll deals, fastball for a strike. In case you missed it, the Rams knocked off the Falcons 31-0. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Say, outside 1-1. So to Chuck Knox, Don Klosterman, Carol Rosenblum, and everybody over there, a great way to start the year. And of course, next Sunday we'll be finished and they'll be playing the 49ers. Pitch in the dirt. Short hop by Johnny Bench, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Clay Carroll's 2-1 pitch. Sliders swung on and missed. Strike 2. 50,007 here at Dodger Stadium. Carroll's 2-2 fastball is hit on the hands to Crosby. Ed is up with it, throws him out. 2 down. Willie Crawford has popped up twice and walked. He's 0 for 2.
Willie Crawford, left field.
Willie Crawford. In the bottom of the 8th, 2 down. Carroll ready and deals. And the fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Dodgers leading 6-4. Dodgers have hit 2 home runs. The Reds have hit 2. Fastball outside, 1-1. Carroll into the windup, and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball away. Ball 2. 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch. Fast one swung on and missed. Strike 2. Steve Yeager on deck. Two pitch coming up way outside. Ball 3. Last game of the year at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers trying to win their 91st game, 50 of which would be at home. The 3-2 pitch is lifted back a short. Crosby waiting for Rose in the shadow of the light tower. Makes the catch, and the Dodgers are done in the 8th, and they have been done since Pashorik's homer in the 4th inning. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 in a row retired by relief pitchers Roger Nelson and Clay Carroll. But at the end of 8, Dodgers 6, Reds 4.
KTAR Radio was Arizona's pioneer radio station, first licensed to serve Phoenix in 1922. Throughout the years, KTAR Radio has brought Arizona the entertainment, news, and sporting events that have shaped our lives. Vice President Nixon visits Khrushchev. You heard it here. The H-bomb is developed. You heard it here. Sputnik is launched. Polio was conquered by Salk vaccine. America takes the offensive in the Pacific. Little Rock, the Nautilus sails under the North Pole. You heard all of these events reported as they happened on KTAR Radio 620. But now there's a new KTAR Radio more dedicated than ever to putting you in touch with the events that shape your future. KTAR Radio 620 is all news and sports with the responsibility of bringing the world to you quickly and accurately. KTAR Action News. That says it all.
To the 9th inning, the Dodgers leading 6-4. They make an outfield change to shore up the defense. Von Joshua is now in left field. Willie Crawford crisscrosses to right field, and Joe Ferguson comes out of the game. So put Joshua in Fergie's spot. Alston leading by 2, and he wants experienced outfielders out there. This is a brutal time of the day, and particularly for Willie Crawford. 9th inning, and Willie's got the sun just blaring at him. It'll be Ed Armbrister, Dennis Menke, and it looks like Dan Dreesen with a bat in his hands will hit for Ed Crosby. Fastball, a strike to Armbrister. Edison Armbrister is 0 for 3. Grounded to third, fly to center, aboard on an error. The kid from Nassau in the Bahamas. Breaking ball is rolled to third. Say grabs it on the chalk, but it's a foul ball. Foul ball. Crowd watching the play and not the umpires. It's a foul. So Armbrister will come back and try it again. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. The on-deck hitter, a veteran, Dennis Menke, hollers to Armbrister, have the plate umpire look at the ball. So Wendell said does and throw it out. So Brewer working with a new one. And Armbrister, slender right-hand hitting outfielder, waiting. 0-2. Brew to the windup and delivers. Screwball. Got him swinging. The bat goes all the way to the dugout seats. 1 away. That'll bring up Dennis Menke. As advertised, Dan Dreesen on deck to bat for Crosby. Menke singled short, hit back to the box, and hit into a double play. 1 out, 9th inning, 6-4 Dodgers. Brew deals fastball for a strike. 0-1. Home plate in shade. Just about the rest of the field, bright sunshine. Brewer comes back to the plate, strike 1. Screwball, low, 1-1. $2,136,192 paid. Come to Dodger Stadium to close out the work at home. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, little slider that time. 2-1 to count. Brew has a better slider than he thinks he has. The Dodger catcher's trying to convince him to throw it a little more. 2-1 pitch. Bouncer to third. Say right at the bag. Across to Garvey. 2 out. So the batter now will be Dan Dreesen with 2 out in the 9th. The Dodgers leading the Reds 6-4. The Dodgers trying to spoil Cincinnati's anticipated victory party. Instead of champagne, they can have Pepsi-Cola on the way home. And if they're going to pop the bottles, they'll have to do it in Ohio. That was the Dodger game plan. They had to give Freddie Norman a bad time, and they did. They scored all 6 times against the little left-hander who has beaten them twice this year. Brew's fast one is over to Dreesen for a strike. 0-1. Dodgers trying to win their 50th game at home. Brewer ready, strike 1 pitch. Slider, but it was up. 1-1. 6 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Reds. Brewer into the windup, and the 1-1 pitch fouled away. Dreesen hit it off the end of the bat, cued it off to the left. The Dodgers now 1 strike from finishing off their homestand for the year on a high note. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Dan Dreesen. Screwball got him looking. Jim Brewer struck out 2 out of 3. The Reds go in the 9th, and it'll be lemonade on the way home. Dodgers beat them 6-4. We'll have the totals right after this message.